gorgeous out here today, so if you can, get out in the garden. I'm going to try and keep this really short and sweet. It looks, it's kind of all over, to be fair. So get yourself sitting down, find your seat bones. Use this as a time to just reset yourself, remind yourself of your correct posture so that when you go back into your day, you're sitting tall, you're actually using the muscles that want to be used while you're sitting, while you're walking, and you've reconnected with that breath so that you feel a little bit calmer and a little bit more balanced. Okay, just grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head, send the shoulders back and down, and we're just going to do 5 breaths in through your nose, and you're just going to R it out through your mouth. So you don't need to make too much of a sound, but you'll notice when you breathe out through your nose, through your mouth, you can just, it's sort of almost a sigh, but you're just releasing what's no longer serving you. So do your 5 breaths in your own time, try and steady the breath. So notice as you inhale, that breath fills up the whole of the lungs. And then you release through everything, you let go and that exhale out. Good. Soften the gaze, find softness through the body using the breath. And just gently feel yourself releasing into the mat. Good. Okay, so you're just going to take your shoulders back, so almost your shoulder blades are inching towards one another. So you're coming into your cactus pose. So just bring those shoulder blades back towards one another, keeping tall, inching back, good. And then rising, connect the palms, really push those palms towards one another, good. And then bringing it back, good. And then as you're here, just allow a roll in your neck. You can stop at any point that it feels like it needs a little bit more. Good. Okay, and then take your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind your left hip, grow tall, and then just encourage a small twist. So twisting from the base of the spine up to the top of the spine, to the neck. Good. And flowing back the other way. Trying not to force it. Good. And then taking your hands back behind your hips. Good, you're going to come up onto your knees, so you're pushing your hips forward. So keep your your chin to your chest, and just encourage those hips forward. So it should feel a bit of a stretch, an engagement through the front of the thigh. Good. And then folding forward, allowing that head and neck to drop and R-ing that breath out. Good. And then just taking the left leg long, bringing the right knee in. Good. Growing tall, reminding yourself again, and encouraging that left leg off the ground. So you're engaging that thigh. Good. Bringing the arms long, engaging the core, stretching a little bit forward, pushing the hips into the ground. Good. And then just coming back onto your back slightly and encouraging that leg in towards you. R-ing it out, taking it to the side. Good, and then bringing it back in and just gently coming back to seated. and pushing. Drawing the core in, so the core can really help to stabilise the body. Good. Switching sides. Bring that left knee in. Encouraging that foot. Bring the toe back towards you. Core in, belly button to spine. Good. Smile. Good. And then rolling back. Encouraging that leg towards you. You can actually just push it away slightly and then notice when you pull it back towards you, you've got a bit of an increased flexibility. Good. Allowing it out to the side. You can open the other hand. Good. And then coming back, drawing the core in, going tall. Good. Okay, and then just rolling around onto your hands and knees. Finding a bit of a release through the forearms, so you can just bring the fingertips back towards the knees and allow yourself, almost like you're verging into child's pose, but don't. I doubt your forearms will appreciate that. It should just feel nice, especially if you've been at a laptop. Good. Taking it back. Just rotate those wrists a little bit. Find that release. Good. And find your tabletop. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Good. And we're just going to hover off the ground for a moment, so knees an inch off the ground, tuck over your toes, and just really feel like you're pushing the ground away with your knuckles. Little bend in the elbows. Good. And then if it feels okay, either come back down, or you can take your left foot off a fraction. Switching, right foot off a fraction. Good. And then rising into your downward facing dog. Good. Find that space in your downward dog. So send your hips up. Find space across your shoulders. And then just pedal your feet a fraction. So straighten one leg, bend the other. Good. You're going to roll yourself forward into your plank. So you can come to your knees if you want, but you're just going to try and find that fluidity. So rolling forwards, core in, finding that straight line between your shoulders, your hips, your heels. Good. And then here, we're just going to drop to our elbows, if it feels okay. Come to your knees if you want. Good. Push, almost feel like there's a magnet pulling those elbows forwards. So push into them. And you should really just feel that connecting, switching on shoulders a little bit more. Push back through the toes. Good. And rise once more. Good. And then push back in to your downward facing dog. Finding where feels good. Just yes and no your head for a moment. Find a bit of rotation there. Whatever you want. Good. Taking the left leg back. Opening that hip. Just enjoy that release through the hip for a moment. Inhale and it out. Good. And then stepping that leg through, helping it if it needs to. Fine. Bringing the chest through and dropping that hip slightly. So you should just feel a nice release through the hip. Good. Taking the foot back slightly. And just rotating so you're onto the right hand side of that right foot and lifting. So you really want to rise through the hips. You should feel a nice release through that left hip. Inhale there. Good. And then taking it back down, stepping back into your plank. Rolling your shoulders back and down. Tucking under the tailbone. Just seeing if you can lift that right leg a fraction off the ground. And then that left leg. Good. And taking it back in to your downward facing dog. Finding space there. Taking the right leg up. Opening it. Enjoy that stretch through the hip for just a moment. Keeping that weight even through the hands. And then allowing chest, knee to chest, and bringing that leg all the way through slowly. Inhaling into the front body, so really feel that inhale. filling the lungs, dropping into the hips a fraction more. It should feel quite nice through the hips. Good. Taking that leg back into fraction, that right foot, rolling onto the left edge of the left foot and rising. Pushing that hip up. Good. And then you'll feel a slight twist through the upper body. You can find your right hand and just gaze. Good. And then taking it back into your plank. Just take one inhale here, dropping to your knees, pushing back in to your child's pose. Good. Taking your hands back behind you. Now almost feel like those shoulder blades are pulling towards each other once more, and then allowing that over. So your hands are almost facing the sky. Good. Release there. Tuck over your toes, the width of your mat, and you're just going to find a release here. So we're aiming to come into our Hindi squat. We're aiming for here, but if you're here, that's fine. You just want to release through the hips. So just take a moment of stillness, a moment of release. And that exhale out. Good, letting go of whatever you don't want in your body right now. Good. Okay, and then heel toeing your feet in. Placing your hands onto your shins and just coming up into that flat back. So feel like your hips are drawing back and the crown of your head is drawing forwards. Good, and the muscles either side of your spine are working. Good, rolling the shoulders back. Good, and then folding forward in to your forward fold and just release there. Good. That's it, and you're just going to walk forward in to your plank. Good. Okay, and now we're here. We are just going to allow ourselves to the ground. So you keep your elbows really close to your side. Go to your knees if you want. Slowly find control. Good. Roll your shoulders back. Forearms to the ground and into your cobra. So internally rotate the legs. Switch on the glutes. And just find stillness there for a moment. Perhaps gaze over your left shoulder. And then your right hand release back down. Forehead to the ground. Good. And we'll just come up once more, but we'll make it an active stretch this time. Your arms out in front. Lengthen the core, lengthen the abdominals. Good. Bring yourself into cactus arms, so the shoulder blades back towards one another. Good. And then you're just going to push back in to your child's pose. Release there. Hips to heels as best you can. Good. And then rising in to your downward facing dog. And just find that last little bit of space in your down dog. Should start to feel a bit more comfortable now. Good. Rolling over into your plank. Good. And then you're just going to take a quick vinyasa if it feels right. So to the ground, elbows to your side, coming over into either a cobra or up dog. Inhale there. Good. And back to your downward facing dog. Excellent. Take that right leg out behind you. Good. And you're bringing it through, so you're sending your right knee to your right wrist. Good. Okay, and send that back leg all the way back. Okay, so you want this front leg either at 90 degrees, 45 degrees, whatever feels right. The back leg should be straight back, and you should feel a nice release through the hips. So we're in our pigeon pose. And you can find a bit of a release there if you want to relax down into it. Allow the exhale to move you deeper. Inhale back up, and then exhale it back down. Good. Good, and then you're going to come onto your right seat bones. you're going to send that right foot into the left thigh. Good. Sit nice and tall, really ground through the seat bones. You're going to find wherever feels right. Good, so either toes, shin, whatever it might be. Really open that chest. Good. And then allow yourself over so you find that side body. So you almost want to part the ribs so you feel like you're taking breath in and the ribs are parting slightly. Good. Take that right hand behind you, behind your right hip, and draw up into your half wild thing and just find a bit of a release through the hips. Good. Taking it back down, taking that right foot over, and if you want, you can either keep that leg straight or bringing it round. And you're just going to hug this left leg and find a twist. So grow tall through the right hand and then twist into it. Nice. Send that breath the whole way down the spine. Good. And then to turn to the other way, you're just going to push through both feet. Good. And you will find yourself about in the right place. Okay, so you've now got this leg in front of you. Okay, and you're then going to grow tall again. Left hand behind and hug that left leg in. Good. Find that twist. Find where it feels right for you. Good. Take this right leg long and bring the left foot in to nestle into the right leg. Grow tall, push through the seat bones. Find where it feels right. So toe, leg, open it up, open the chest. Good. And then taking it over and reminding yourself you're thinking about expanding the rib cage with your breath. Allowing the exhale to just allow you to soften and deepen into the stretch a bit. Not to collapse. Good. And then take that left hand behind you. Grow tall. Push on to the left knee. Feel the connection into the right foot. Good. And then coming back down. Okay, and then here, you're just going to take that left knee towards the left wrist, right leg back behind you, and then you're coming back into your pigeon the other way. Okay, so this can either be at 90 degrees, 45, wherever feels right. You want to keep your hips nice and level, and that back leg wants to be sent straight back behind you. And on the exhale, if you want to drop in deeper, use that exhale, that R, and then inhale and rise. Exhale and soften. Inhale. Good. Okay, and come back to seated. Good, reminding yourself of that posture, connecting back with that breath. You're going to take your right hand over onto your left shoulder. Now you can either find the right hand and come into that cow face pose, so some opening through the shoulders, or if that doesn't meet, it doesn't matter. You can either find a bit of rope, whatever, and encourage it, or you can just feel that release through the tricep there. But really try and breathe through the chest, so you're not dropping into it, you're not rounding through the spine, you're pushing forward. Good. And what you'll probably find actually is one side is easier than the other. So just open, send the arms back. Good. And then this way, either coming there or finding, this way is harder for me. Good. And opening, encouraging that straight neutral spine. Good. Good. And then opening once more, coming into those cactus arms. Connecting the hands, the palms towards one another. Good. Bringing the hands to heart center. And again, really feel like you're pushing the palms towards one another. Good. Okay. And just taking yourself down onto your mat. Finding the soles of your feet, finding your calves, whatever it might be. And just hang out in happy baby for a moment. Straighten one leg perhaps, and the other. Roll. Find yourself rolling on the ground just to ease out your back. Breathe into the belly, release through the belly. You've done a bit into the core. Good. Encourage the whole length of the spine onto the mat. Good. And then grow tall, grow long, stretch really long. Fingertips to the tips of your toes. And then allow your toes to release out. Palms to the sky. Good. Smile to yourself. And then just as we lie here, just think about what you've been able to let go of, what you've found, how your body feels. And just give yourself a couple of moments to release into the mat. So just to let go of any more tension that's holding on to your muscles, that's holding on to your mind. Release the head down, melt it into the mat. Let go of the shoulders. Let go of the hips. Take that release, that breath, all the way down the legs, and find that softness. Find a moment of stillness, a moment of softness in the body. Good. And then when you're ready, hugging your knees in, rocking from side to side. Good. Coming onto your side, and when you're ready, into your seated position. Good. Take your hands to heart center. Find that posture that you want to carry on through the day. Inhale, exhale, R it out. Good. Finding strength in the body, love in the heart, and balance in the mind. Namaste. Well done, everyone.